All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really cool. We're talking about a complete blueprint, a roadmap for building your very own AI personal trainer, and you can do it right from your desk. So let's jump right in. Okay, let's just start with a simple question. Think about that webcam sitting on your monitor. What if it could do more than just, Zoom calls? What if it could actually watch you work out, count every single rep, and correct your form on the fly? Just like a real expert trainer. And I'm not talking about science fiction here. This is real, and it's exactly what we're going to break down. So let's paint a picture. You fire up the app, your camera kicks on, you start doing some squats. Almost instantly, the AI goes, squats, got it. And it starts counting. 1, 2. But wait, on that third rep, maybe your form gets a little sloppy. The app doesn't miss a beat. It just says, lower your hips more. And just like that, you've got this seamless, interactive coaching session happening right there in your living room. Pretty amazing, right? So that little bit of magic we just described, it's not actually magic. It's built on a foundation of some really core features. So now, let's peel back the curtain and see how you can build this exact same thing, piece by piece. And look, we're talking about way more than just a simple rep counter here. The whole system is designed to act like a real coach. I mean, it can figure out what exercise you're doing, check your form to make sure it only counts the good reps, and then give you instant feedback with sounds and on-screen cues, all while it's keeping a log of your progress over time. It's the whole package. Okay, so the very first question we have to tackle is, how does the app actually see you? I mean, for any of this to work, we have to give our AI a pair of eyes. And that's where the vision system comes in. The technology that makes this all possible is called pose estimation. And it's really fascinating how it works. Essentially, the AI looks at your video feed, frame by frame, and it finds all the key points on your body. Your shoulders, elbows, hips, knees. These points are called landmarks. And when you connect the dots, you get this digital skeleton that lets the AI understand exactly how you're moving. Now, when it comes to which set of eyes to use, you've got a few options. There are tools like OpenPose that give you a ton of detail. But for what we're doing here, the source material really recommends Google's MediaPipe. And for good reason. It just hits that perfect sweet spot between being super fast and really accurate. And that's exactly what you need for an app that gives you feedback in real time without any lag. Okay, so our AI has eyes. It can see that digital skeleton of yours. But so what? How does it know that one set of movements is a squat and another is a push-up? Well, for that, we need to give it a brain. We need to teach it how to learn. And this is where something called the training pipeline comes into play. It's a pretty straightforward 4-step process. First, you just record video of people doing the exercises correctly. That's key. Then you use that pose estimation tech we just talked about to turn those videos into that skeletal landmark data. After that, you just label it. You tell the AI, okay, this data is a squat, this data is a lunge. And finally, you feed all of that neatly labeled data into a machine learning model. And that's how you train the AI's brain. And just like with the eyes, you need to pick the right brain for the job. It's not one size fits all. So for dynamic exercises that happen over time, like squats or lunges, you're going to want a model that understands sequences, something like an LSTM or a GRU. But for a static pose, like holding a plank, a much simpler, lighter model is all you need. The big takeaway here is simple. Match the model to the movement. So we've got eyes, we've got a brain. What's missing? The final piece of the puzzle. We need to give our AI coach a voice. This is the live feedback engine, and it's what ties everything together and makes the whole experience interactive. And this is what it's all about, really. Getting that immediate, useful feedback. The system is constantly comparing your live movements to that perfect form model it learned from. And the moment it sees a difference, maybe your hips are a little too high or your back isn't quite straight, it can instantly call it out and give you that correction. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We've talked about all these different parts, the eyes, the brain, the voice, but how do they all work together in fractions of a second to create that seamless, live coaching experience? Well, it's all about this real-time loop. It's a continuous cycle that's happening incredibly fast. Look, your camera grabs a frame, the eyes extract your body's landmarks, the brain predicts if your form is good or not,
and the voice instantly shows you that feedback on screen. And this whole thing, it happens over and over and over again, many times every single second.
Okay, so let's bring this down from the clouds. Let's talk about how we go from this blueprint to an actual, tangible project. The source material gives us a super clear checklist to build a real working app, turning all these cool ideas into something you can actually create.
And I mean it. This isn't just theory. It's a real, buildable project. You'd have a script just for collecting the data, another one to train the model's brain, a third one for that live feedback part, and then, of course, a web app to put it all together for the user. It breaks this big, complex idea down into these manageable, concrete chunks of code. It's basically your step-by-step construction plan.
So after all that, what's the big payoff? What do you actually get at the end? You get a personal AI trainer that can spot even tiny mistakes in your form, give you instant feedback, and track all your progress with actual data. Oh, and it can run completely offline on your own device. To put it simply, you get a much, much smarter way to train. And that really brings us full circle. We've walked through the entire blueprint, from giving the AI eyes to giving it a brain, and finally a voice. The whole architecture is laid out for you. So the only real question left is, now that you have the blueprint, what are you going to build?